we called on the Malaysian government to give humane treatment to the Filipinos under their custody. On another issue, the Philippine government is continuing its repatriation operations in Syria as the violence in the country continues. In line with this effort, the Philippine Embassy in Damascus informed the Department of Foreign Affairs that 61 Filipinos are set to arrive in Manila tomorrow, March 9, at 9:15 in the morning aboard Qatar Airways, flight QR 648. Upon their arrival, the number of repatriates from Syria will now reach 3,692 individuals. The repatriates underwent a medical checkup before leaving Damascus and were all declared fit to travel. They were then brought by the personnel of the embassy in Damascus to the Syrian-Lebanon border on March 7 on board several chartered buses. The Philippine Embassy in Beirut made representations with the Lebanese immigration authorities to facilitate the repatriates' entry into Lebanese territory through the Maasna border crossing. On March 8, the repatriates proceeded to Beirut's Rafik Hariri International Airport, where they took a Qatar Airways flight to Doha, Qatar, and then another flight to Manila. They will be assisted during their 5-hour layover in Doha Airport by the Philippine Embassy personnel in that country. On the UN peacekeepers, our information was that the 21 Filipino UN peacekeepers would be released earlier today, meaning this morning. This has not happened. We are continuing to work with all stakeholders for the expeditious release of our Filipino UN peacekeepers. I am ready to answer some of your questions.
Sir, on the peacekeepers, where did that report come from and what happened? Why?
It came to our attention that there would be an action to release the 21 Filipino peacekeepers. But as I said, that does not happen. And therefore, we are now intensifying our negotiations with the rebel group in that area.
So what action is this? Is this a rescue mission or just a simple release?
It was, what was expected was a simple release of our Filipino UN peacekeepers. Yes.
On Sabah, I was wondering if you have your office has received any updates on the figures. Did the Royal Army members disperse completely from the Haddatu, or are they still centrally located?
Yeah, we don't have that information. No information has been shared with us by the Malaysian government on the operational side of the action that they are undertaking in Lahadatu.
Can I follow that? What is the secretary? Is he planning any more dialogues with his counterpart in Malaysia? And what kinds of terms or what are there any specifics on maybe reaching some sort of consensus as far as trying to have this humane treatment of those being held and those kinds of requests?
From the very beginning, our aim was always to be able to save lives and make sure that bloodshed is avoided in Lahadatu. And we have been endeavoring to do that in coordination with the Malaysian authorities. And then, of course, what happened was the violence last Friday, where Filipino as well as Malaysian police were killed. But having said that, we continue to explore all avenues in order to be able to reach a peaceful solution to this issue and avoid further loss of lives. I would not be able to tell you exactly what are the details of what we are trying to do, but at this point in time, after the Malaysian government has rejected the call of Jamalul Kiram for a reciprocation of their declaration of unilateral ceasefire, it appears that the only option left for the Kirams in order to save lives with certainty is to lay down their arms. Yeah, we have not been able to validate that.
Sir, what Radio Velasco from DZM, what happened to the negotiations in Syria? Bakit hindi mo natuloy yung release na sinasabi po ninyo?
I don't exactly know what happened, why the expected release did not happen. But the demand is still there that the Syrian forces be repositioned somewhere in Al-Jamla, maybe to give space to the rebel forces in the area.
Do we expect it happening anytime now until tomorrow probably? Do you have a time frame?
Well, we are doing everything to make this happen. We are exhausting all our efforts, trying also to ask the assistance of other stakeholders, and we are hoping that a release would be effected as soon as possible.
Sir, what happened? What has happened to that? The status of your getting help from other countries? Because the U.S. issued a statement earlier today calling for the conditional release. Can you comment on that, and also what other assistance has other countries given?
Yeah, for now, well, we have been assured that our partners would help us in the release of the 21 Filipino UN peacekeepers, and we welcome that assurance, and we are therefore intensifying our coordination with them, as well as making sure that the negotiations on the ground is well undertaken. Yes.
Just a clarification, sir. On the expected release this morning, was there information that it was expected because the demand has already been granted?
I don't have that detailed information.
Are you in touch with the Syrian government?
Pardon?
Are you in touch with the Syrian government? Because the demand is for the Syrian forces to pull out.
Well, for now, what we're doing is trying to make sure that we get the assistance of all stakeholders, and we are hoping that the release of our Filipino peacekeepers are effected very soon.
So there are reports that they are willing to release the 21 to ICRC. Do you have that information also?
That has not been validated yet. We need to get an official information on that. But any arrangements that would be undertaken for the early release of the 21 Filipino peacekeepers would be very welcome.
Sir, yung first day ng encounter, di ba nagpunta na yung embassy team led by Ambassador Malaya, nakipag-usap sa Malaysian police. Anong nangyari doon? Hindi sila pinagbigyan? Kasi may note verbal na naman tayo.
Yeah, remember that we have requested a number of items with the Malaysian government, including allowing our Navy ship, the humanitarian ship, to dock in Lahad Datu. And we also asked for a humanitarian corridor to allow the women, children, and other civilians to be able to withdraw and go back to their homes and families. So far, this has not been yet granted, and maybe they're still considering these requests.
Sir, you mentioned earlier that the only option for the Mirage is to lay down their arms. Do you have procedure on how they will do that? I mean, because the area is apparently locked down in the So how?
Well, I was saying that because of the rejection by the Malaysian authorities of the unilateral ceasefire declared by the Kirams, what appears to be the option left for the Kirams is for them to lay down their arms in order to save lives. The details of this, or the how do you call this, the operationalization of this would depend on the people on the ground.
Sir, has the Malaysian government explained why it's taking them so long to grant our request?
Well, for one thing, the environment there in Lahad Datu, where there is an exchange of fire and where they are in the middle of conflict, would prevent them from allowing our people to get into Lahad Datu.
So, yung option left sa data ito yung position talaga ng gobyerno.
Yes, that is, what we are saying is because there was a rejection from the Malaysian side, it could be that this would be the last option, remaining option for the Kirams in order to save the lives of the remaining Filipino nationals in that area, as well as to avoid more bloodshed. From the very beginning, that has been the message of the government to the Kirams. Remember that when this first came out to the fore, we have asked the Kiram family, for the sake of the safety of the people there, to withdraw and go back to their homes and families. And this was our call, repeated call, for about 2 weeks. But we did not receive any cooperation from them. And then what happened later was there was a confrontation and people got killed from both sides. And when people get killed, that would be difficult for not only for the government of Malaysia, but also...
Yan po ang press conference ng Department of Foreign Affairs. Ayon kay DFA spokesman Assistant Secretary Raul Hernandez, nagpadala ng note verbal ang Pilipinas sa gobyerno ng Malaysia para bigyan ng full access ang mga taga-Philippine Embassy sa mga Pilipinong nakadetain sa Lahad Datu sa Sabah. Umaasa raw ang DFA na habang nakadetine, ang ating mga kababayan ay maayos ang magiging pagtrato sa kanila ng Malaysian government. Muli rin pong iginiit ng DFA na sumuko na ang Sulu Royal Army matapos pong hindi tanggapin ng Malaysian government ang panawagan nila ng unilateral ceasefire. Tungkol naman po sa 21 UN peacekeepers na bihag ngayon ng mga rebelding Syrian sa Golan Heights, puspusan pa rin daw ang negosasyon para sila ay mapalaya matapos na hindi matuloy ang inaasahang pagpapalaya sa kanila kaninang umaga. Patuloy raw humihingi ng tulong ang ating gobyerno sa mga otoridad para mapabilis ang pagpapalaya sa kanila. Samantala, sa gitna po ng kaguluhan sa Syria, tuloy-tuloy pa rin daw po ang repatriation efforts ng ating gobyerno para sa mga kababayan natin doon. Bukas daw po ng umaga, 61 mga Pilipino ang nakatakdang magbalik bansa mula Syria. Aabot na raw po sa mahigit 3,000 Pilipino ang nai-repatriate mula Syria.